Hey, how are you going today? I'm Ollie of the channel c8er and I'm going to show you how to bake the easiest bread ever. You can bake a loaf of bread, you can bake a baguette, however you want to shape it. It is super simple. It has 4 ingredients: flour, water, salt and yeast. I baked a lot as well with sourdough, but my personal experience is that keeping a sourdough alive sucks, honestly. You have to prepare your sourdough 1 week in advance and then bake the bread, which takes 3 days or something if you watch all the other YouTubers. And you're here to basically learn how to bake the easy bread, how to get to your good results fast, and that's why you're here, and let's go straight into it. We are starting off with 400 grams of flour, 8 grams of salt, 9 grams of yeast, and finally we are adding 280 grams of water to the dough. In this case, 280 milliliters of water are a 70% hydration level. Definitely take 250 milliliters in the beginning, because then lower the hydration level, then less sticky is the dough. Cover your dough with a tea towel and then set it aside to rest for 30 minutes. This process is called autolysis process, and it is basically the process when the gluten, so the protein of the flour, is absorbing all of the water. Make sure to work your dough after those 30 minutes of autolysis process to even develop the gluten structure more. After working your dough, put it back into your bowl, and now let's start the proofing process. Between half an hour and 1 hour is gone now, and I'm going to check the dough, show you what I do every time I check it, because this bread is very easy to bake, but you have to follow the steps. You basically have to stretch and fold the dough 4 times every time after half an hour until 1 hour passed. It's not so important to be so specific about it, but in this time frame it's very important that you do the stretch and fold, otherwise your bread is going to get fucked up. So as just said, perform this stretch and fold method for 4 times in a row, always after 30 minutes to 1 hour time. When you are finished with all the stretch and fold procedures, that means the gluten in your dough is developed perfectly and you can start forming the dough. Make sure to put enough flour on this kitchen towel, because you are going to rest your bread in there and it's not supposed to get sticky. After proofing, take your dough, put it on the flour coated workplace and cut it into even pieces. The bottom side of the dough is full of flour, so it's not sticking. The top side is very sticky. Use it to close up your bread after rolling it, just like here. To be on the safe side, put even a little bit more flour on your bread so it's not sticking at all, and move it into your baking tray. Carefully fold up the kitchen towel to make space for the next baguette. We actually had 1 day pass now since I started making those nice baguettes, and today is the day that we are going to bake those, and we are basically baking them at the highest temperature that our oven possibly can do. There's one step you really have to do as well, is to stabilize the baguettes whenever they are resting for a long time. I'll show you how I solved this. I used those containers, and they really stabilize the baguettes quite nicely. Check out this. Proofing the baguettes in the fridge will allow the dough to develop a proper crust. After that, transfer your baguettes on your work surface and pull off the floured kitchen towel. Should be quite easy. Help with your second hand, and then just carefully transfer the baguettes onto a baking tray which hasn't got any baking paper on there. Okay, we took the breads out of the fridge right now and placed them onto a baking tray, and now I'm just going to let them rest until the oven is heated up, so they can proof a little bit more. While the oven is heating up, I just covered them with a kitchen towel and set them aside. After the oven reached the final temperature, I'm just going to brush a little bit of water onto the bread, because that will help creating a nice steam chamber inside of the oven. In the oven itself, I put a baking tray with water to support the steam going into the bread and make the bread puff up, like you can see right here. Bakers also call this the oven spring. The bread can stay in the oven for 30 minutes, but after 15 minutes please remove the water. Look at the bread. If you liked that video, please make sure to leave us a like, a subscribe, and if you're really cool, please press the bell and click on all to make sure to always get notified whenever we drop a new video. There's lots more stuff to come, and I'm really thinking that you will enjoy this. So yeah, see you at the next time. I'm out.